You probably think your dog sleeps in your bed just because it's soft warm or because they love being near you. And yes, those things are partly true. But what if I told you that every time your dog curls up next to you, they're speaking a language older than words, a message passed down through generations of wolves, through years of pain and healing, through moments of fear and absolute trust. Picture this. You wake up at 3 a.m., and there she is, pressed right against your chest. Her breathing is slow. Her body's finally relaxed. And you wonder, what does this mean? If you're a man over 60 sleeping beside a rescue dog you've come to love like family, this video is for you. Because when your dog chooses to sleep with you, it's not just affection. It's survival, loyalty, and a kind of emotional healing you might not have words for. So let's begin not with science, but with instinct. Because the way your dog sleeps beside you starts long before she ever knew your name. 1. Instinct, the ancient bond of survival. Long before we had memory, foam dog beds, electric blankets, and heated floors, dogs had only one way to survive the night stay close to their pack. That was the rule in the wild. Proximity meant protection. It wasn't a choice. It was instinct. When your dog jumps into bed and settles by your side, you might think it's just routine. But in their biology, that move says something deeper. You are my pack. This is my place of safety. Dogs are pack animals wired to stick together when vulnerable. And sleeping is one of the most vulnerable states they experience. Even today, those instincts haven't faded. Your dog might have lived in your home for years, spoiled with soft food and belly rubs, but deep in their brain, there's still that wild animal scanning for danger, craving closeness to someone they trust. That someone is you. There's a part of the dog's brain that lights up when they're with their trusted human. In a 2020 fMRI study, researchers found that dogs process their owner's scent in the part of the brain tied to emotions. That's not random. That's evolutionary. And if you've ever seen your dog sleep with one eye slightly open or one ear twitching at sounds, it's because they're not fully asleep. They still guard. They still listen. It's called the nictitating membrane, a third eyelid that lets them rest and stay alert at once. That protective instinct never truly shuts off. So when your dog curls into the crook of your knees or settles right against your chest, it's not just comfort. It's trust layered over instinct, a primal reflex shaped by thousands of years of survival. But instinct alone doesn't explain the emotion you feel when they finally let their body relax beside yours. That what you feel in your chest when they sigh in their sleep that comes from something deeper, something chemical, something emotional. And in our next part, we'll explore that invisible but powerful connection, what really happens inside both of you when your dog chooses you every single night. 2. Emotional chemistry, oxytocin, and trust. You ever notice how your dog knows exactly when you're not okay? How they quietly climb onto the bed, press their body against yours, and just stay there? That's not training. That's chemistry. There's a reason it feels like they understand you better than anyone else. Because biologically they do. When your dog looks at you, really looks at you, something incredible happens. Their brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds a mother to her baby. And yours, it does the exact same thing. In fact, a 2025 study from Azabu University showed that mutual gaze between humans and dogs increases oxytocin by over 300% in humans. That's not coincidence. That's design. Dogs aren't just feeling love, they're physically building it every time they curl up next to you. Especially rescue dogs. Especially those who've been hurt, abandoned, or feared touch for years. When a dog like that chooses to rest their head on your chest, what they're really saying is, I trust you to keep me safe, even in my sleep. And you're not just giving warmth. You're receiving something in return: comfort, reassurance, emotional grounding. That bond heals both ways. There's an older man I once met, a Vietnam vet, who'd lost most of his family. Said he hadn't slept through the night in decades. But the night he adopted an anxious mutt with one eye and a trembling frame, everything changed. She laid beside me like I was her whole world, he told me, and for the first time, I wasn't afraid to close my eyes. That's not just a story. That's medicine. And for many people who live alone, who carry invisible wounds, dogs become more than pets. They become therapists, guardians, companions in silence. Still, there's more to this story than bonding and hormones. Because when your dog chooses your bed, they're not just choosing you. They're claiming the space as theirs too. And in the next part, we'll explore what scent territory and your blanket say to your dog about safety and belonging. 3. Territory and scent, you are home. Let me tell you something surprising. Your dog doesn't love your bed because it's big, soft, or expensive. They love it because it smells like you. Dogs experience the world through scent. While we rely on sight, they rely on smell at a level we can't even imagine. Your pillow, it's a map of memories. Your blanket, a signal that says, you're safe here. There was a study where dogs were given 2 beds, one with their own scent, and one with their humans. Almost every dog chose the one that smelled like their person. Why? Because your scent is their comfort zone. It tells them they belong. So when they climb into your bed, snuggle into that dent where your back curves, or rest their head where your scent lingers most, they're not just sleeping. They're anchoring themselves. They're saying, this is where I feel whole. That behavior is even more profound in rescue dogs. Think about it from shelters full of stress, and barking to a quiet home where your scent becomes their guide. I once met a woman who had rescued a Chihuahua with a history of abuse. For months he slept under the couch. Then one night he climbed into her bed and laid right across her feet. She cried. Because in that moment, he wasn't just resting, he was finally home. And you can use this insight too. If your dog struggles with separation, anxiety, try placing one of your worn shirts in their bed. That simple scent, your scent, can work wonders. It reminds them that you're close, even when you're not. But scent and territory aren't the only things pulling your dog to your side. There's something more physical, more ancient, something that goes beyond emotion or scent, something your body gives off, that they instinctively need. And in the next part, we'll explore the power of warmth and how your body becomes their personal safe haven every single night. 4. Warmth and comfort, biologic. Not just emotional. Let's talk about something simple. Warmth, that comforting heat you feel when your dog presses up against your back or tucks themselves behind your knees. It's not just affection, it's survival. Dogs are warm-blooded, but their body temperature runs higher than ours, somewhere between 101 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit. They crave warmth not just because it feels good, but because it signals safety. In the wild, dogs huddled together at night, not out of love, but out of necessity. Cold meant danger. Heat meant survival. And that instinct hasn't gone anywhere, especially for smaller breeds like Chihuahuas or miniature poodles that warmth is everything. With their tiny frames and minimal body fat, they lose heat quickly, which means your body, your bed, your blankets, they become essential. I remember a man who told me, "My Chihuahua sleeps under the covers right against my stomach, like I'm a furnace." He laughed at first, but then said, "It's the only time she truly relaxes." That's not a habit. That's biology in motion, and it's not just about them. Studies show that people who sleep with dogs often feel safer, more relaxed, and sleep better overall. One 2024 study published in the Journal of Sleep and Health found that even light physical contact with dogs during sleep lowered cortisol levels and increased deep sleep cycles in humans. In short, warmth goes both ways. Maybe that's why so many people, especially those who live alone, say they can't fall asleep without their dog nearby. It's not just love. It's physical regulation of stress, emotion, and temperature. But there's one more layer to this. Your dog doesn't just sleep with you to feel warm or protected. Sometimes, it's because your bed gives them something they can't find anywhere else. A better view, a sense of watchfulness, a place where they feel fully in control. And in our final section, we'll explore why your bed becomes their lookout post and what that says about the way they protect you, even in your sleep. 5. Why your bed matters: safety. Height and night watch. There's one more reason your dog climbs into your bed, and it has nothing to do with comfort or even scent. It's about strategy. In the wild, height means power. The higher a dog sleeps, the more control they feel over their surroundings. It gives them a vantage point, a way to keep watch, to feel in command. Your bed, it's the perfect lookout tower. Raised soft and full of the scent of their most trusted human. It's not just comfortable, it's tactical. Some dogs, especially those with protective instincts, like to sleep facing the door. Some will place their back to you, head toward the hallway. Why? Because even when they rest, they're watching, guarding, making sure nothing reaches you without going through them first. There's research backing this up. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that while dogs can slightly disrupt sleep when sharing a bed, most owners still reported feeling emotionally safer. That feeling matters especially for people who live alone or have experienced loss. I met a retired firefighter who lost his wife of 40 years. He said the nights were unbearable. Then came Max, a stocky rescue mutt with a crooked ear. He sleeps across the foot of my bed, he told me, like a damn soldier. Since he came, I've never once woken up afraid. That's the power of shared space. Your bed becomes not just a place to sleep, but a place of mutual protection. You give your dog comfort. They give you security. Still, some people worry, should I really be letting my dog sleep with me? Is it good for either of us, long term? That's a fair question, and in our next video, we'll explore the science and safety of co-sleeping with dogs, when it helps, when it hinders, and how to find what's right for you and your pup. But for now, let's return to where we started, with a quiet moment, a still bed, and the soft breath of the one who chose you. So now you know, when your dog sleeps in your bed, it's not just cute, it's not just routine. It's an ancient message wrapped in warmth and silence. It's instinct, loyalty, love, and healing, all curled into one small body that found its place beside yours. From their wild ancestors to their broken pasts, from the moment they first saw you to the night they first dared to rest beside you, your dog has been carrying that message all along. I choose you. You are my home. And maybe that's why it feels different. Maybe that's why when you wake up and find them still there, pressed close, steady breath, rising and falling with yours, you feel something settle inside your chest. Peace, safety, connection. Not everyone gets chosen by a dog. Not every dog gives their sleep to just anyone. But if yours does, you're one of the lucky ones. So tell me, where does your dog sleep? Did you cry the first night they finally curled up next to you? Drop your story in the comments. Someone out there needs to hear it. And if you're wondering whether it's truly safe to share your bed with a dog, stick around. In our next video, we'll dig into what the research really says.